Hi, thank you so much for coming back for this wrap-up video of the 5 seasons of connection. As you know, we have gone through a lot of content together. We've gone through a lot of places in your heart that you may not have even known were there, right? Experiences you didn't remember contributing to what your love story could be. Maybe it was some of the trauma or the pain or the neglect or the abandonment you felt in your childhood experiences with love or in previous love relationships, which really was informing your current love relationship, whether you knew about it or not. But you know about it now. So we are in this amazing place where from here on out, you are deciding what kind of love relationship you want to have with your partner. What do the seasons mean for you? You now know what winter looks like. So for you, when you start to slide into winter, you know it. Name it, claim it, and say, I need this in this season. Winter is doing this for me right now, and I need to do this spring cleaning to get out of it. Because you know the heavy lifting is in our spring cleaning, and you know the kinds of things that you need to do to get through that. And it's totally fine to take a moment and sit in winter and choose to pause, right? We always have that power to pause because we want to do the right thing for ourselves and for our love relationship. We are committed to this person. We want to be with this person. We want to evolve and grow and stretch and learn and experience great things with this person. It's okay to take a moment and decide, I want to spring clean right now. I want to get back to summer. I want to get back to that beautiful, glorious, spectacularly connected and intertwined life. I want us to lean on each other. I want us to turn to each other. I want us to be happy and funny and just experiencing the greatness of our relationship. I want us to get into deep conversations. I want us to share vulnerably. I want us to experience the wholeness of who we are side by side. That is summer. I want you now to think when things start to slide and bickering starts or snippiness starts, you know, oh, I'm in fall. Winter is on its way. What do I need to do at this crossroads to make a better decision? Sometimes we do take the winter path. Sometimes we're like, you know what? I need winter to clear I need this storm to blow through my relationship. That's okay. Just don't stay there, right? Go back to spring cleaning and get back to summer. And it is not that fake state of summer where you pretend everything is perfect. No, it is the real summer that comes from being open and honest and vulnerable and authentic with your partner. What you want more of, what you might want less of, what you need. They may or may not be able to accommodate you at that moment, but your job is to show up fully for your partner. And your partner's job is to show up fully for you, right? And that is the magic of what summer can bring. After we talked about the 5 seasons, we went into the 5 elements of awareness. So we talked about attachment, and at the beginning, you might have thought, oh my gosh, what does the way that I was raised 35, 45, 55 years ago have to do with my love relationship now? Well, everything, because that was the first painting of a love story we learned about, right? Whoever you saw in your relationship, if it were your parents, your grandparents, if you were in another situation with different people in your childhood, that's how you learned about love. And what did it teach you? Then we talked about core values. What are the pulse and power of the decisions that you make, often subconsciously, often without thought, right? We just react to things, and that reaction comes from a place of our core values. So now we know what they are. We know our partner's core values, our core values, and our shared values. So if a conflict comes up, if you end up in winter in a moment and you can just think, okay, wait a minute, is this a conflict about task? Is this a conflict about power? Is this a conflict about time and investment? Is this a core value conflict? Let's decide what we're arguing about here. Because once we understand what kind of conflict we have, we can get to spring cleaning it lickety split, right? The next thing we talked about in the 5 elements of awareness was our communication style. And we did cover the verbal and the nonverbal because they both play a part in our relationships. We are now a heavy texting world and we can shoot off text very quickly. We speak into our devices and it sends text messages for us and it doesn't capture the emotion, right? So we have to show the full picture, the whole picture of our communication when we want to start sending messages to our partners. It isn't just the words. It isn't just the action. There is a whole component of emotion and layers of nonverbal communication we just need to be aware of. And I hope we did that together in the communication category. In our next chapter, we talked about personality types. And even though you may not subscribe to any one kind of personality type test or assessment, it does provide value when you can start to understand you and your partner as whole and complete beings. Is there an introverted, extroverted component there? Is there conflict about, the time, how many times a month you go out to date night at big loud festivals and big outdoor parties and, dancing clubs where your partner is just like, I really want to stay home and read a book. And you think they don't love you because they aren't going to do all these big loud things. But once you see it really might just be a matter of personality, you can think, oh wow, all those times I thought my partner was rejecting me, they were just trying to be who they were. So personality type absolutely informs our relationship with our partner. And then of course our last section was our intimacy plan. And we talked about all 7 types of intimacy because it isn't just one thing. It isn't just what we see on the cover of a magazine or people walking down the street holding hands and you think, oh, they're super intimate. No, it's 7 layers. And most of those layers you will never know because what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors, almost like that Las Vegas slogan. You don't know what's going on in somebody else's relationship. And when you know, as you do now, that there are 7 layers to intimacy, you can really think, wow, okay, I think we are doing amazing in these areas and we could actually up our intimacy over here. We could do this thing over here and that would even make summer more bright and more beautiful and more magnificent, right? Because it is about the seasons at the end of it. It is helping you find your way back to summer in your love relationship with your partner. I am so glad you are here with me. I am so grateful and honored to have been here with you. I hope that you have experienced a lot of ahas throughout this course, many opportunities for you to say, oh wow, I did not realize that. I didn't see that. I didn't know that. I didn't even consider that, right? That is my goal here with you, is to really stretch you open a little bit wider every module to say, did you consider this as a player, as a moving piece in your relationship? Right? If you have a chessboard, there are a lot of pieces on that board. It is not just you and your partner. You start off with a lot of pieces and each of them has a role. So the 5 seasons and the 5 elements of awareness all play a role in your love relationship. And I am just so grateful to have been here with you. And I appreciate your time and your energy and your commitment to love. Because if I know anything, I know love means everything. So thank you very much for being with me. I hope to see you again sometime, and you can always reach out to me for private coaching or to see what other courses I have in parenting, in business brilliance, and whatever else I might have going on at the time. So I will see you again in the next course, and thank you for being here. Mwah! Bye.